Would it surprise you that my Christmas tree I dangled from a rope in my backyard in January is still currently dangling there? Like some sort of white trash badge of honor? It wouldn't? Cool, you've probably been a regular viewer then. It's like I don't even need one of those private property signs to tell people, keep moving, buddy. By the way, if you don't see one of those signs posted outside of someone's house, feel free to just stroll inside, help yourself to all the bush light you can fill into a plastic Walmart bag because it's completely legal. Actually, other than giving my in laws pause of what kind of bro their daughter married, it was my intention to chop it up when I got time to complete my Ontario Machete review. But I had lots of shit to do between then and now, so finally I got it done. But before we get to that, let's dimension it up. Like the overall length and weight, with and without that sheath. By the way, experts may know this, but this one did not come with the sheath. I paid about $8 for a cheap one. The machete was about $12 with an eBay coupon around Christmas, so it was like $20 total. Cool story. Blade length and cutting edge. Also note when researching some machetes and bush swords, some places only list the total length of the machete. 18 inches here refers to the blade though. Also a great story. Handle size, grip area. Do you think my wife's parents thought it was drying, I was drying it out for wood carving? Spine thickness, handle thickness, or, whatever. I'm not sure for what. No one's ever asked about it, huh? Tallnesses. I guess the rule of thumb is if you're a guest, avoid conversations of the Christmas tree dangling from another tree in the backyard by a rope. The Ontario 18-inch military machete has been made in the USA for over 70 years, and if you don't believe me, then the Amazon description words would like to have some words with you. Basically, that's all the research I ever do, because product descriptions are never wrong. It appears to be made for the US military, so if we pay $20, then they must pay $50. The 18-inch blade and its 15-inch cutting edge is made from 1095 carbon steel, coated in a black matte zinc phosphate coating. It's kind of sparkly and has a good amount of friction. It's not a thick powder coat like the SC or a slick coating like my Schrade, and it gets smoother the more you chop with it. Carbon steel is also code for it gets rusty if you don't dry it out after your jungle adventure. The spine near the tang is about 3 1/3 millimeter, you saw that earlier, and it maintains about a 2 3/4 to 3 millimeter spine thickness all the way to the tip. It varies a little, because Ontario says it's good enough for the military. However, not good enough for internet nitpickers. It's about 1 millimeter behind the edge though, if I measured correctly, and all this translates into a sort of heavier machete with a balance point somewhere in the center of the overall length. You can flex it, but it ain't an easy flex. Like a lot of cheap machetes, the tip is blunted, so it's not meant to be a stabber. Seriously, look all over Amazon and look at the reviews for cheap machetes and they're all, the tip is blunt. The handle, it's full tang and the scales are plastic, high impact shatterproof polymer, which sounds way less cheap. The handle is comfortable and rounded, almost kind of bulbous. Another word ordinary everyday guy recommended I stop saying. Wait, do you think he's saying that just so he gets his name mentioned in these videos? The plastic handle scales and tang aren't precisely flush everywhere. Because machetes are really hard to make, okay? Come on. Seriously, give them a break. When chopping, the front and rear keons were large enough to keep it in my hand. I have found on larger machetes and Weibo lawn tools that the rear keon does the job of keeping it from slipping out of your hand because as you're chopping, the knife tends to slip forward toward the out of your hand position. And that rounded rear oversized keyon helps a slightly heavier machete like this one stay in your hand. It also has a hole in the back for a lanyard, another consideration to help keep the machete in your hand when chopping and or whacking. Sorry it doesn't come with the lanyard or the skull bead though. The sheath. The sheath is optional, so you buy, whatever you want. Create one out of duct tape, have one made. I bought the recommended one off Amazon for cheap. It does the job of keeping the blade protected, but it takes a while to dry out when the sheath gets soaked because of the light padding. Much like a bra, be careful when putting it in the dryer. The sheath dangles low enough and it might have been cool with another buckle near the bottom for leg stability. There are no draining holes in the tip, so I'd only store the machete in it if the sheath and the machete are both dry. Or don't if you treat your stuff like garbage. Comparisons. I don't own a lot of machetes currently, but let's take a look anyway. First, the Ontario 18-incher. Ontario makes longer and shorter machetes, even some different 18-inchers. It's kind of heavy for a Latin machete, or bush machete as they're sometimes called, the basic style machete it is. Take a drink every time I say machete. It has a thicker spine than other lighter machetes, so it's kind of good for thicker brush or alternatively sitting in your basement for 6 months, unused awaiting a YouTube review. Below I'll link a page to machete styles so you can see which best represents your spirit in blade form. Are you round like a bolo, or have a parang curve? Now the Condor Tool and Knife Yoshimi machete. I don't know if this one is considered a Latin machete. It's more like a sword. You know, a machete and a chopper in one. It has a thick, unbendable blade stock and can sort of be heavy for one-handed chopping. Also, the lack of a large, pronounced rear keyon on such a heavy blade means you might have to hold on extra hard and grit your teeth and look like a tough guy, or use two hands, although using two hands means you have less of one hand free for stabilizing if need be. I don't know, one guy commented on that particular video who owned it, telling me I was wrong, and he uses it for his job every day, so sorry. I prefer the Ontario for light branch cutting and bamboo cutting and whatever. I would guess maybe if you had nice grippy gloves, that may be fine for the Condor. What about the SE Junglist 2? More of a knife. It has a nice comfortable handle. It kind of looks small and sad here compared to the Ontario. This one tends to stay in the hand while chopping unsafely, glove-free. The Zombie Tools Kukri. This is much better for wood chopping than brush clearing, like maybe limbing trees, limbing fallen branches. It also chops and cuts grass well and bamboo, but hey, I just have it here for size comparison. Wrap it up. A good cheap machete is a great yard tool. If you have an unruly yard like mine where the prior tenants planted ugly invasive plants that overrun the yard, I have a socially acceptable reason now to own a sword. Life hack, cheap machetes are more affordable to hang over your fireplace than samurai swords, unless you shop at Bud K. The machete came reasonably sharp, not like a new pocket knife, but good enough for chopping green branches and trees. And to cut my finger if I felt a little emo. Is that even a thing anymore? It's a bit blade heavy and I might end up getting a lighter Tramontina, Condor, or Imikasa budget machete and compare it to. I mean, I don't need to, but I probably will, knowing how I am. You're like, I know how you are. I like the 18-inch blade as it gives a good reach. It cuts through new bamboo and grown stuff too. And whatever the hell those shit-eating trees are near the septic tank that always seem to get in the way of me lawn mowing. If you are cutting older, woodier branches, it may not fare as well. Also, it takes a little practice to chop in the sweet spot, so expect some awkward chopping when you first get used to it. You find out where the best chopping part of the blade is as you chop with it. I mean, if you have your own chopping stump and you have something solid to brace the thicker branches against, chop away, homegirl. So if you like this video, subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up. If you think you need to buy this machete, buy it through one of my links below, or buy it somewhere else if you think I am already wealthy enough. The regular price floats between $15 and $25, again without the sheath. I say that because someone will be like, I bought this and it didn't come with the dang sheath. Liar. You know, the internet's full of stupid people. Believe me. It's a good starter machete that you may be happy with, or it could start a whole new fun and practical collection as you try to find the perfect machete, you know, while you're also still trying to find that perfect pocket knife, even though you have 50. Leave a comment. Did I say everything I need to say? Oh yeah, follow me on Instagram, Twitter. Twitter alerts you better to when my new videos drop. Thanks for watching.